The Devil's Chord, written by Russell T Davies, directed by Ben Chazelle. The Doctor and Ruby meet the Beatles, but discover that the all-powerful Maestro is changing history.
Bradley Cooper with a big nose. London becomes a battleground with the future of humanity at stake.
We know that this, for a long time, we've known that this features Jinx Monsoon as Maestro. The episode's 49 minutes.
Not long enough.
No, I like 50. That's good. That's 3 minutes longer.
This is a Chris Chibnall episode, 50 minutes.
This is probably the one I'm most excited for, I think. And it's not even because of the Beatles.
The whole series?
I think so. But because
Wow.
but like
You're
we don't
fucking screw loose,
we
mate.
don't know a lot about a lot of the other ones. And so like whilst like 73 Yards I'm excited for, it's like I'm excited because it sounds spooky and we don't know much about it. Whereas in terms of the episodes that we do know stuff about, this is probably the one that I'm like most keen for. Mainly like I just think it looks good. Like the Beatles stuff aside, I think it looks good. I'm excited by the idea of possibly a musical episode.
So you don't think the Beatles look good?
The Beatles do not look good.
Wait, what? Am I nuts? You said last week you loved them.
I said last week
crazy?
I said last week I don't care that they don't look like the Beatles.
Okay.
But
I've been misquoting you a little bit.
yeah, you have. You're putting words in my mouth, mate.
Apologies. I'm deframing Aiden.
The only thing I want in my mouth is
These sound bites.
these sound bites. I'm not going to do
Quiet.
Okay.
Was I saying quiet or twat?
I think it
Stop
was
talking, you.
it was like stop using the sound bites.
That's the
Quiet.
sound we're telling us to. Quiet.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this one.
How much do you think the Beatles are in it?
10 minutes?
Okay. Isn't that a big draw for the episode and people might be a bit annoyed they're only in it for...
I don't know, 10, 15. They're saying like, I remember in Unleashed a while ago, they went behind the scenes. Oh no, it was a documentary about Russell that was on like ITV or something.
Wasn't that a bad thing that they didn't... Wasn't that about how...
It was just about Russell's history.
Right.
And so I had all interviews of Russell and stuff, and they went to the studio and everything, and he like walked around. And he was like, "This set is going to be Abbey Road. There's going to be a massive Abbey Road Studios. So there's going to be a massive fight here. There's going to be people being thrown across the room and things like that." So when the end of this thing does say London becomes a battleground with the future of humanity at stake, I think we're going to see like bodies flying around. I think the Maestro is going to be one of the biggest villains we've had in a hot minute. I mean, we had the Toymaker 2 weeks ago, but...
Well, yeah. Well, she's the devil, isn't she?
Is she?
The Devil's Chord.
Oh, I see.
Who else is the fucking devil?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the devil, I think.
Put the devil in me, didn't it?
Put the devil in me. If that doesn't play for just 1 second, I'll be so mad.
What, you want the Doctor to be going around the TARDIS and being like, all right, Ruby, which track do we want in the jukebox?
You
put the devil, not that one.
Yeah,
and then
swap. I'd love that.
Yeah.
Little Easter egg.
That'd be funny.
I'll say I'm going to put one fear in for every episode. For Space Babies, it's the babies that I think will maybe...
I second that. I agree.
Which will turn new audience off.
Yep.
For Devil's Chord, for me, it's just the way the Beatles look. Because everyone knows the Beatles. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows the Beatles. Mm. And that's my fear. I guess if they aren't in it a lot, I guess like it's a double-edged sword. It's like not in it a lot, so they don't really look like them, so it might not matter, but also people might be a bit annoyed they're not in it enough. Mm-hmm. I think that the Beatles get trapped, and that's what the episode's about.
Well, it says here that the Maestro is changing history, so is she... That's why I think the Beatles won't be in the episode. I think it's going to be the Maestro like takes the Beatles out of time or something like that.
Does it say she changes history?
It says here it's changing history.
Sorry. I ain't listening again. I do that. I switch off on these things.
When I start talking.
No.
My fear for this one, and I like camp things. I love like how camp classic Who can get. I love how camp Shooty's dialogue is a lot of the time. But...
Meet my friend, she's Ruby
Sunday. Like I love that stuff. I do worry that for episode 2 of A New Era, I worry that it could go slightly too camp with the musical numbers and things like that. And obviously Jinx being more the Maestro being obviously quite an extravagant looking villain.
Yeah, and she's from the Rules Drag Race, whatever. So she's obviously super talented.
Exactly, it's a very out there villain to throw in quite early on.
And as someone who like has watched Doctor Who for 19 years, it's like even I'm not excited for a musical episode.
I mean, I am.
No, I know you are.
Yeah.
But like, it's like That's what I mean. Like, I feel like it's going to be a bit split.
Maybe, yeah.
Like,
And that fear I have for it being a bit too camp. Like, I'm not like for me, I don't think that's a fear for my enjoyment of it. It's a fear for maybe some general public thinking like, oh, this is a bit silly, you know?
that's what I mean. Like, I think, and if it pays off, Russell deserves all the praise in the world. But I really do think like these 2 episodes, they're super fucking risky, particularly with this whole, and they've spent so much money promoting this. There's massive printouts on like all the subway, all the trains in like New York City. It's huge. Like the amount they would have spent millions. So
have you seen, if you go on that subway train, so outside it's like the poster and it's like
inside,
right away.
I've seen the inside.
Inside there's one for like one of the carriages looks like Rogue. One of them looks like the Beatles.
Beatles, yeah,
crazy.
It's really cool. Awesome. That's what I really hope Disney, obviously.
Times Square had a promo on as well.
Yeah, unseen footage. I know the flight say this, but I really do hope Disney at least were like, they're happy enough with them for launching that gives me a little bit of hope. I know if I'd say that. But it's like, if they're happy enough for this to be, it's Russell's fucking gay ass, and I love it. Like, it is Russell. He's like, he's just, that's what he does. And I love him for that. And that's why I love him. But I don't know if the world will love, you're right, it's camp. And I don't know if these 2 episodes will hit. Again, if it does, everyone needs to tip their hat and their fedoras for Russell because he deserves it.
It's sort of one of those things.
Sorry, just real quick. I hope when I watch these episodes, I'm like, I hope I'm wrong. I'm like, I really hope I'm wrong with my fears. I'm like, oh, shit, I was wrong. And I'll happily admit that.
I think like one of my fears, like it's the same fear. It's the same thing here. But my analogy, I guess, would be finding Savine. If that was your episode 2, and if you were in your 20s watching Doctor Who for the first time, and episode 1, Space Babies, episode 2 is fighting Savine. It's one of those things where it's like a bit silly, a bit wacky for us to be doing early on. Savine obviously came in a bit later, and to be honest, like it is a good episode, but it is one of those things that might turn people off of it. You know?
Absolutely, yeah. Apart from that, though, like I think what will really save the episodes is that it looks stunning.
Oh, it looks amazing.
It really does look stunning.
And you can tell they know it does because I know obviously it's early on and they tend to show footage from the early episodes rather than later episodes, but like it's everywhere and it's billed with episode 1 as a double bill on Disney Plus. It's clearly one of the episodes they're most proud of the season, so I'm
That's
keen
my
on that.
fear, that I'm worried people don't enjoy Space Babies and don't give Devil's Claw a chance though, because I feel like this is going to be the one that's a bit more stronger. I could be wrong. But yeah,
faster, stronger.
Ben Chessel. I'd love to know who the cinematographer is, like the DP, because it looks stunning. Like it generally does. The colors are great.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
The scene where they're in the booth and like,
and Shudi's given it his all.
Yeah, but it's like yeah. I mean, I already knew that. Like any fears I have about, I don't have any fears about Shudi and Millie. I know they're going to bring it. And look, obviously, like it's you need to be a bit nervous going into the season because if it's so good, it can be like so rewarding. I think maybe personally, I might find so good. I feel like I might personally not love the first week of Who. Maybe the second week with Boom, I'll probably enjoy more. But I really want to love these episodes.
Can't get worse than us coming in on the Star Beast and just laughing hysterically in pain.
I think that taught me something.
What's that?
Well, just not to go into these episodes like I did with Star Beast.
Yeah, right.
Where I was like, there's no way it's going to be a disappointment.
Yeah.
I think that was so...
Yeah. Because when we
for
went
that episode particularly, it was like just not the right attitude to go into.
When we went into the Star Beast, we were like, "This is going to be perfect." We're like, "This is Russell back. He's the king."
It would just be fun. Like we don't expect much. It's just going to be fun.
And we watched it, and we were like, "Oh, it definitely has its flaws." And like the moment, like each of the small flaws throughout the episode just like chipped away and chipped away and chipped away. And we sat down here to record with my hungover ass. And it was like,
that was,
what are we doing here?
I remember you being like I remember going to bed and like waking up and being up so early that I watched it twice in a row. And I was just like, I don't know.
Anyway. Okay, guys, super light cast spoilers here. And it might even be an error on the BBC's end. But if you want to jump ahead a minute, I do not blame you. Connor, let's keep this chat super brief So if you just on your Spotify want to jump ahead like exactly a minute,
Oh, don't be a pussy.
don't be a pussy. Stick around for this one. All right, 3, 2, 1. The cast list on BBC says that Murray Gold plays himself in it. There's a couple of other dancers that are playing themselves in there too. And then it also says on there that Susan Twist is playing the tea lady, and Susan Twist is the person that we've seen a few times that was in Wild Blue Yonder.
Give it some welly.
The Give It Some Welly lady. So
Russell, what are all these threads?
So quick thought on Murray possibly being in it? Or is it a
he's
mistake?
already been in Doctor Who before. He was in
Voyage of the Damned?
Voyage of the Damned.
He is, yeah.
And I believe he had...
But he must have a speaking role if
he
he's
had
named.
a moustache in it, which always made me laugh.
If he's named in it, he must have a speaking role, surely.
Something like that is only something that dumbass nerds like you and me would be like. It's like, no, it's Murray Gold, but who the fuck is that? It's like, yeah. I think it's awesome. I know there was a rumor that Russell was going to play the Exorbilos, like,
What the fuck?
an Exorbilos. I'd love to see a Russell cameo or like a
I don't think he
Murray.
wants that.
What, Russell cameo?
When he finally puts the baton down, because he's never coming back to Doctor Who once he puts this one down, right? He's not going to do 3 hours.
You never know.
You never
he
know.
might just write an episode though.
I mean, with all the stuff that's like with Moffat coming back and stuff, I mean, never say never at this
Never
point.
say never.
But,
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah.
but like, surely when he gives up this time, surely when he stops this
I'm
time,
free of your designs.
it is the end, and he should do like a Bill Lawrence at the end of Scrubs, where like the Doctor's like walking to the TARDIS to regenerate, and then there's a guy just like pulling down,
Yeah.
cleaning the TARDIS. Who's a janitor. He just says good night. That's
Night.
a Scrubs reference.
But again, that was so niche.
I know, but it's one of those things
Like,
that
I think Dan told me, like, oh, that's Bill Lawrence. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
it's one of those things to a general audience that wouldn't know, but for fans would go crazy. And it's not distracting enough that general audience would be like, what's that about? Sorry, just for context here, this is the Scrubs, the main finale before they rebooted it, where the showrunner himself, who was a massive part of the show, directed a bunch of the episodes, wrote so many of them, amazing guy.
Made Ted Lasso.
Co-created Ted Lasso.
A show you probably have watched.
Yes.
Scrubs.
The final scene has the main character walking out of the hospital, and he just looks over at the janitor, who is played by Bill Lawrence in this scene, and they just say, good night, and then theme song plays, end of episode.
You put yourself in your films. Yeah, you're not in your latest one, are you?
No, I'm not, no.
No.